Rules as written in the player's handbook and the dungeon master's guide are variants. You're going to find all sorts of variant rules and ways of handling things that you as the dungeon master don't have to do. Every once in a while, pick up the book and flip back through it. Pick to a section, look at the rules, and refresh yourself. I give you this advice because a lot of times you'll see me talk about something where it's just a variant rule that we use. I'll homebrew it a little bit so it's not exactly as the words on page, but we're not actually changing the game. In fact, the majority of the changes we make to D&D are either in the book as variants, there's slight changes off of those variant rules, or they're in an Unearthed Arcana or one of the expansion books. For the most part, Dungeons and Dragons as a whole, and I'm talking about specifically D&D, has given us a lot of variants to be able to use. So when someone's making content and they're talking about a rule and you're like, oh, I really like that, probably it came from another book or it came from another TTRPG that we liked a little better. Like skills. I don't like 5e skills, but I love 5e combat. It's just a personal preference. 3.5 and Pathfinder did a better job of skills. So taking their skills and putting them into your game, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it actually works pretty well, and it doesn't take in a whole lot of things because those two systems are mutually exclusive. The skill system and the combat system don't rely on each other very much. So therefore, it's easy just to slap in one and call it a day. And so, for example, Daggerheart. I despise Daggerheart skills because I like skills. Daggerheart has backgrounds, but that makes more sense than skills do. Like if you think about it, if my background was being a farmer or being a hunter or being one of those things, it would give me a whole section of skills that I would know how to do. And I could use that as saying, oh, I grew up doing that, so I'm going to roll a skill check based upon this. Perfect. That makes thematic sense. So whether you're playing an adventure game or you're playing a thematic storytelling game, how you approach each one of these rules is simply different. Utilizing the rules differently based upon the story you're telling is the key. You as the dungeon master and you as the players need to agree on that. That's all we have to do. If we do that, every piece of advice out there that you see can just add to your ability to play and your understanding of the rules. And so whether you're ruling for theme or ruling for rules, just make sure you're consistent on your table and your players agree with you. Talk to them about it. And while I say yes, a lot of times be confident, make the call. There's nothing wrong with you making a call and then a player saying, hey, I thought it ruled this way. Be like, you know what? Maybe you're right. Let's go with that way. You're still being confident in your thing. You're still making the call. You're still moving the game forward. And you're doing it in the terms of your table. So food for thought on how and when to use variant and homebrew rules. Because most of the time, they're not that too far off from what's actually written in the books.